The scorching sun and rising dust shapes the bleak landscape in most parts of the country. Malnourished women and children trekking for hours in search of food and water. Men and boys herding emaciated livestock. They would rather lead the weak animals to their death than choose to slaughter them for food. This reality has been blamed on changing weather patterns triggered by human encroachment into forests, poor agricultural practices and wanton deforestation. This has resulted in food insecurity, with the United Nations warning that 3 million Kenyans face starvation due to failing rains. Even more disturbing are reports by experts that maize-growing areas are becoming warmer, and if unchecked, production of maize, which is Kenya's main staple crop, will reduce by a fifth. They also predict production of beans will shrink by more than half at 68%. Perhaps it is these shocking statistics that have shocked legislators into action, prompting the crafting of the Climate Change Bill 2014 to offer a local solution to the global phenomena.
Climate change is not an environmental issue. Climate change is a developmental issue, and is an issue that cuts across all sectors of our economy and affects everybody in the world and in this country. So it's important that we have an institutional framework that will coordinate this matter in the entire government system.
The law comes even as the international community has established action plans and adaptive measures such as the Kyoto Protocol and the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. The documents are, however, perceived to be largely theoretical, and the discussions considered a boardroom affair based on the negative climate effects due to lack of implementation. This is evident in variations of weather patterns, unpredictable levels of water in lakes and rivers, frequent and prolonged occurrence of droughts and floods, and other environmental disasters.
Climate change is here to stay with us. Even if we now stop all the emissions, it will continue for the next 50 or 100 years before the earth calibrates itself back to normal.
Wildlife and tourism sector has also not been spared. Environment and Natural Resources Principal Secretary Richard Lesiampe disclosed that Kenya Wildlife Service has been forced to distribute fodder to wildlife that are facing starvation after the failed rains in April.
Drought now is normal. Every year we have drought. So we have to learn how are we going to deal with the drought. We must now be able to come with technologies that will allow us do agriculture in those ASAL areas in drought.
The bill, sponsored by Emuhaya MP Wilbur Otichilo, hopes to provide a legal and institutional framework to deal with climate change challenges. It also seeks to provide a basis to advise national and county governments on regional and international conventions, of which Kenya is party to, and facilitate implementation by creating a National Climate Change Council fully equipped to realize the objectives.
We need a council that can coordinate the issues, can be able to coordinate the formulation of various response strategies on how to deal with climate change, be able to report our position at international communities on climate change.
The bill also wants to establish a climate change fund which shall be funded by the taxpayer through an act of parliament. The bill comes even as the government, in a bid to tackle food insecurity, has demarcated land for irrigation, repossessed grabbed forest land, and appealed to Kenyans to venture into farming by offering subsidized packages to farmers. As Parliament continues with debate on the Climate Change Bill 2014, its success will depend on its full implementation to bring to an end the era of food donations and tackle famine and drought that continue to claim lives unabated. Marion Kanari for the Bill Tracker in Nairobi.